Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Today I want to talk about how things can't be taken for granted, and especially talking about things not being taken for granted. I thought we'll talk about global economies because in this channel I do try and talk about more than India. I do try to talk about more than US. So in that spirit, I thought I'll talk about what's happening in the globe and what's happened in the past and why there's no surety, there's no guarantees for the future. That there are mistakes in our decisions we make today which we pay the price for tomorrow. That is the basic premise of this video. So, taking that, I thought we'll talk about some of the world's largest countries and economies, once lauded as the crown jewels of the world, have gone wayside, and what lessons can we learn from this in our history for our own investments and where we can go with it in the future. Of course, right now there's a lot of hype around the US economy and the Indian economy, and all for the right reasons. And I can understand why there is so much hype. Like people like Warren Buffett talking about the Indian economy, everyone's talking about the Indian economy and investing in India. I can understand that. Considering the geopolitical tensions and the macroeconomic conditions, India looks a very safe place to be in. Let's talk about Canada, for instance. In 2008, when the financial crisis happened, it was praised for the way it handled the financial crisis of 2008. Its GDP only shrunk by 0.4% that year, and since 2020, things have not been going so great for Canada. What is that? Most of its investment and job growth has been costly real estate market, and the private sector, they missed the whole IT boom, the IT industry which has happened, and now the real estate has gone up to such a point most people can't even afford housing there. And notably, the biggest thing most Canadians will talk about is Shopify, saying how it is tech wonder of theirs. But since 2021 peak, Shopify share prices have almost halved. Then let's talk about a country like Chile. Chile was considered like an East Asian tiger country, meaning it was an economy which is going to be robust and is going to be growing, pushing South America to the forefront. And currently is being marred by civil unrest and constitutional reforms, and public services has been struggling because of the poor tax collection they've been having, and bureaucracy is deterring investors from entering Chile with new investments because there's so much of red tape now. Taking your money investment into Chile and investing in making your capital grow seems to be difficult. And the country continues to be heavily relying on commodity exports, particularly copper. So, what happened to Chile is a question mark. Then, of course, we can talk about Europe. And in Europe, the powerhouse is Germany. Germany, during the whole economic downturn which happened, the per capita income growth has been falling to less than zero recently. But this was not the case. Germany was considered to be one of the powerhouses of Europe, and no other economy has faced this kind of dramatic, developed economy has faced this kind of dramatic turnaround in its fortunes as Germany has. Its per capita income growth fell from 1.6% the past decade to less than zero. And during the pandemic, Germany was thought to be flush and flexible and poised to excel in the post-COVID world. And now it doesn't seem to be able to do that anymore because of its heavy dependence on exports to China and its energy imports from Russia. Because of the geopolitical matrix, the way it's changed from pre-COVID to post-COVID, with China and Russia being hostile to the Western forces, it has crippled Germany, and its exports and its productivity have declined at a shocking annual pace of 5%. And suddenly the future of Mittelstand, the network of manufacturers that was the engine, long been the engine of Germany, looks rather murky. Then, of course, we can talk about Africa, and that's South Africa. Despite being a resource-rich country, has been in steady decline since the commodity boom ended, and is predicted negative per capita of GDP growth over the next 5 years, not only for the one of the top 50 economies is South Africa. So even IMF has saying that they're going to see negative GDP growth in most African countries, and especially in South Africa. And this is funny that South Africa, when it was pulled into Brazil, Russia, India, and China back in 2010 when BRICS was made, and a lot of you keep still talking about BRICS. So you can see the problem with BRICS, where Brazil, Russia, and South Africa is supposed to be part of BRICS, and now we only have India and China pretty much standing there, and you know what China is going through. So it only seems to be I right now. Anyway, finally, let's talk about Thailand. Thailand was called part of the Asian tiger, the leader of the Asian tigers, the pack leader, before debt tripped them up in the financial crisis of 1998, and now has turned the former tiger to see the per capita GDP decline in this decade. So you can see in Thailand right now, it has one of the world's highest inequality rates of almost 80%, where poor living conditions persist in rural areas. And the running political battle is between the rural poor and the Bangkok elite, and the focus on public debt and how it's to be distributed and not expanded. So this is the problem Thailand is facing. The stagnation is continuing in Thailand, losing its manufacturing to rivals like Vietnam. So what is this? Why, Vinod, are you talking about all this? What is the key takeaway from all this? The key takeaway I want you to take from this video is what is the decline of these economies illustrate that development paths are fraught with potential pitfalls. They're not easy as you think, and every economic level, be it a developed country like Germany or coming up the ladder like Thailand or Chile, there are problems. And this problem is not only in one corner of the world. This problem can happen throughout the world at any point of time. And a single misstep can have severe hindrance to the economy, like in Germany. Before the pre-COVID, it was lauded for its partnership with China and its reliance in Russia. They were friends and they had special relationships with each other. All of that has turned negative now in a post-COVID world, where the world is becoming more polarized. And current economic thriving nations could heed these examples, is what my point is. So the warning of growth is not guaranteed. So yes, India looks poised for growing. India looks everything's going to be great. But to guarantee these things, even a small misstep can take us off the rails. So this is something to keep in mind as an investor, to make sure at least your investments, your information, and you stay in current with what is happening, and you at least try to project to see what is happening in the future based on the lessons in history. Not everyone who's running the country is motivated for your investment or your well-being. Keep that in mind, is what I wanted to share with you. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you found it informative and entertaining, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.